Okay, so the meninges, external gross anatomy of the sheep brain. The meninges are the three layers of the external protective layers of the sheep. The dura mater on this sheep you can't see, but in the jar you can see it. It's a thick, external, dense, irregular layer of skin. On the sheep, you can see in this model the arachnoid mater, which is this white sheath, and notice the black lines both in this one and in this one. Those are blood capillaries that are found within arachnoid mater. The third layer is pia mater. It's not on the list, but he might say something, I don't know. The falx cerebri is the extension of the dura mater between the two hemispheres, so it'd be running along here and running along here. The tentorium cerebelli cuts and fills between the gap of the cerebrum and the cerebellum. Those are the falx cerebri and the tentorium cerebellum are both extensions of dura mater. The telencephalon is the cerebrum. The longitudinal fissure is the gap between the two lobes, the left lobe and the right lobe. The gyrus, or the gyri, are the hills. Maybe you can see it better on this one. The hills, and the sulcus, or the sulci, I don't know, are the valleys. The corpus callosum, when you split the two lobes, you can see this white part sticking out right here. It's the bridge between the two hemispheres. The gray matter, you can see it best on the arbor vitae. It's this tan color. The white matter is this cream color. But I think you can also see it on the cerebrum. White matter, gray matter in between, kind of. The frontal lobe is this first part right here. The olfactory bulbs and tract, it would be coming up here. I think that's the remnant of a bulb right there. The parietal lobes, they would be right here. And the temporal lobes are on the side. And the occipital lobe is this back part of the cerebrum. The diencephalon is an area. It's the middle. It contains the optic nerves, where the optic chiasma would be, and the mammillary body. The optic chiasma is where the optic nerves come out, but it would be right here, right above the pituitary gland, the whole of the pituitary gland. The tuber cinereum, let's see, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's this kind of brown area right around that hole, seen from the bottom of the sheep, seen from the bottom of the cerebrum. The infundibulum is the stem, or what used to be inside the hole. The mammillary body on a sheep is just one lobe, and it's right there. The cerebellum is this back bottom chunk. That's the cerebellum. The transverse fissure is the cleft between the cerebrum and the cerebellum. The cerebellar hemispheres are here. There's two. The arbor vitae are within the cerebellum. And it's this tree right here, also known as the tree of life.
Sorry, show it again. My hand was in the way. Okay, there we go.
The tree of life, arbor vitae. The brainstem, starting with this cerebral peduncles. They're the 2 feet that are right next to the mammillary body and where the pituitary gland would be.
So those are the peduncles right there.
Peduncles
okay.
Right here, also known as little feet. The corpora quadrigemina is part of the midbrain, and when you bend the cerebellum back, you see this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Superior colliculi, inferior colliculi. The pineal gland, also when you bend the cerebellum back, is right here. Notice that it's above the superior colliculi. The pons is above the medulla, and it looks like a walnut. Here.
Can we see it on the other, on the...
There. Right. And then that would be medulla oblongata right there. The ventral median fissure is on the back of the medulla oblongata, and it's this black, kind of gray line right there.
Okay.
The corpus callosum, if you look at the inside of the brain, of the sheep brain, this is the corpus callosum. The rostrum is the front part. Looks like it's supposed to look like a nose. Rostrum is a part of the corpus callosum. The lateral first and second ventricles is this depression right here. When you have the other half of the brain, it would be like 1 and 2 or 1 and 2. The septum pellucidum, you can see it really well on here. It's this flap that separates the two ventricles, the first and second ventricles. The fornix runs parallel to the corpus callosum, and it's this bottom line of nervous tissue. The pineal gland, I think it's here. Yeah, it would be right there.
It would be right there.
Can we see it on this one? Right there.
That's the pineal gland.
Yeah.
It's right behind the...
Yeah, it's supposed to be like above here. Basically, you cannot really see it.
Can we see it on this one?
Here you can see it. This.
Oh yeah, it would be that knob
This.
right there, right?
No. Hop.
Oh yeah. There we go.
That's
Pineal
it?
gland.
Okay, the pineal gland.
The thalamus is right here. That's the wall of the third ventricle. So this is where the third ventricle would be. And then the cerebral mesencephalic aqueduct runs from the third ventricle, and it runs down into the fourth ventricle, which is right here. So cerebral aqueduct, third ventricle, runs down to the fourth ventricle, which is located underneath the arbor vitae. The velum is the roof of the fourth ventricle, so it's like a flap.
It's usually a flap. I don't know if we can see it good on the human brain, but...
I don't think you can see it on the sheep. It's too small. Okay, that's it.